Hello, welcome to School of Alchemy. Today's book is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, a Toltec wisdom book, practical guide to personal freedom. So this is a small book, a small pocket book, which you can put inside your purse, your backpack. It's a paperback. It has, let's see how many pages are these. 140. Well, if you're gonna sit all day, you can read this in one sitting. But if you're a fast reader, you can read this maybe an hour or less. So this book, I knew about this book long time ago. And when I got this book, I found that this was published in 1997 by Miguel Ruiz and Janet Mills, published by Amber Allen Publishing, San Rafael, California. So why do I recommend this book? Because it's very easy to read and easy to understand, and you can use this right away. It's a very practical advice or guide, and you don't need to think deeply, but it is hard to practice. See, this is all text, no illustration. There you go. Let's see how many chapters. It has 7 chapters. And the agreement starts on the 2nd chapter, so don't be confused in case you buy this book. It's chapter 1 and chapter 2, but the first agreement starts at chapter 2. I got confused in the beginning, so that's a tip for me. So let's go ahead. I'm not gonna read the dedication. Let's jump ahead. Chapter 1. First agreement. Okay, so the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. It is interesting how he explained this. Okay, let's go. It says here that let me see, where did I see that? Okay, let's see. It says, sorry about if I'm stumbling, because I read this book and I'm trying to recall in my head where the things that I want to show you is. Okay, now let us see what the word impeccability means. Impeccability means without sin. So impeccable comes from the Latin peccatus, which means sin. The im in impeccable means without. So impeccable means without sin. Okay, religions talk about sin and sinners, but let's understand what it really means to sin. This is very interesting. Okay, you'll be surprised what he's going to say unless you read this already. He said here, a sin is anything that you do which goes against yourself. Everything you feel or believe or say that goes against yourself is a sin. You go against yourself when you judge or blame yourself for anything. Being without sin is exactly the opposite. Being impeccable is not going against yourself. When you are impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions, but you do not judge or blame yourself. Interesting, right? It says here that self-rejection is the biggest sin that you commit. In religious terms, self-rejection is a mortal sin which leads to death. Impeccability, on the other hand, leads to life. Did you have an aha moment? Okay. Do you want me to read another paragraph? Because it's getting interesting, right? So it says here, being impeccable with your word is not using the word against yourself. You know, I do this a lot because it is in my culture as that we do self-deprecation. You belittle yourself instead of being thankful about it. It says here, if I see you in the street and I call you stupid, it appears that I'm using the word against you. But really, I'm using my word against myself because you're going to hate me for this. And your hating me is not good for me. Therefore, I get angry and with my words send all the emotional poison to you. I'm using the word against myself. So, if you are saying something bad about other person, it has a negative effect on you because you'll get mad at him, right? It says, if I love myself, I will express that love in my interactions with you. And then I'm being impeccable with the word because that action will produce a like reaction. If I love you, then you will love me. If I insult you, you will insult me. If I have gratitude for you, you will have gratitude for me. If I'm selfish with you, you will be selfish with me. If I use the word to put a spell on you, you are going to put a spell on me. Being impeccable with your word is the correct use of your energy. It means to use your energy in the direction of truth and love for yourself. So that is the first agreement. There's more, but I want you to read it yourself and unravel the mystery of the first agreement. Let's go to the second agreement. I'm gonna say chapter 2. Oh man, this is so hard. This is very hard. Don't take anything personally. Wow. Nowadays, people take things very personal. Okay. The next 3 agreements are really born from the first agreement. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. How can you do that? Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street, I say, hey, you're stupid. Without knowing you, it's not about you. It's about me. Yeah. You know what? Most of the time, when people are mad about you, it's because they're mad about themselves. And they are projecting it on you. But really, they have a baggage. It's not about you. It's always about them. Let's see. This is the agreement he's talking about. I'm here. You. It says, you take it personally because you agree with whatever was said. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you. And you are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is that we call personal importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. Okay, during the period of our education and our domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think we are responsible for everything. Me. Always me. Oh man, does it sound like familiar? So, I encourage you to read this because, as I said, it's an easy to read, easy to understand. It's not like reading Kafka, reading Descartes, or reading Plato or Socrates. This is very practical, right? So let's jump to the third agreement. Oh, this is very important. Don't make assumptions. That's how you get in trouble, people. You make assumptions. And I'm also guilty about that. Sometimes I make assumptions. But since I've been listening to Dr. Jordan Peterson, I got this book, 12 Rules, and I'll also get the other book, The Beyond Order. I stopped making assumptions because I began to analyze and not react. Okay. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. Can you see it, guys? We have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We could swear they are real. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally, then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our words. That is why whenever we make assumptions like Karen, the Karens, we are asking for problems. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, and we end up creating a whole big drama for nothing. Right, Karen? Okay, so I'm gonna stop on that because I want you to read it. It's very easy to read. Number 5, always do your best. The fourth agreement is always do your best. There is just one more agreement, but that's one that allows the other 3 to become deeply ingrained habits. The fourth agreement is about action of the first 3. Always do your best under any circumstances. Always do your best, no more, no less. But keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment. Next, everything is alive and changing all the time. So your best will sometimes be high quality, and other times it will not be as good. When you wake up refreshed and energized in the morning, your best will be better than when you are tired at night. Your best will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick, or sober as opposed to drunk. Your best will depend on whatever you are feeling, wonderful and happy, or as upset, angry, or jealous. So guys, this is an easy read in a small pocket book to give you perspective. This is the size, in only 103 pages. Very practical wisdom. That's the 4 agreements. I hope you like my review. Actually, it's an overview. And if you like more about reviewing the way I review, subscribe and give me a like if you appreciate this review. Okay? See you next week.